What's going on, everybody? You're watching Thisvthattv and you're watching my review of Sword Art Online. Now, this review is only of the first season and does contain slight spoilers, so be warned when you are watching this video. I missed the initial S.A.O. craze when it was first released because I actually didn't get into anime until the summer of 2013. Now, I actually had never even heard of the show until I saw that it was airing in English on Toonami. Now, after watching the first few episodes, I was really excited about the show. It's just too bad the show didn't finish as strong as it started.
Where'd the logout button go?
It should be at the bottom of the main menu.
The story is about a group of gamers that get trapped in a virtual MMORPG, or VR MMORPG, called Sword Art Online. Now, the story revolves around Kirito, a hardcore gamer who also happened to be a beta tester for Sword Art Online, and Asuna, who is the daughter of the CEO of Recto Progress, which is the company that runs the S.A.O. servers. The story is the most disappointing part of this series because, as I said earlier, after the first few episodes, I was really excited to see what was going to happen in the story. I didn't really have a big problem with anything except for the time skip they randomly threw in after episode 3 until it got to the second half, because half of the story of Sword Art Online didn't take place in Sword Art Online. Not only does this change the overall setting of the show, but it also changes the show's entire atmosphere. Now, in S.A.O., if they died in the game, they died in real life. That always created this constant tension and sense of urgency. Now, that wasn't really there in the second half. When they switched to Elfhelm Online, that sense of urgency just wasn't naturally there. They had to keep adding more and more and more things into the plot in order to create that sense of urgency, and it just wasn't as successful the second time around. The change was so drastic, it almost felt like they switched genres. Initially, it felt like a fantasy action thriller that had some romance thrown in and mixed in near the end, and then the second half seemed more like a fantasy action romance anime. It was a typical rescue the princess story, and it wasn't nearly as entertaining or interesting as the first arc. All of this could have been avoided if they just didn't use the time skip. By using the time that they just skipped over, they could have given us a lot more character development from the main characters and given us a lot more information on the supporting characters. The animation is some of the best I've seen in anime. Everything from the characters to the scenery looks beautiful. The fight scenes are also wonderfully animated. The animation is probably the best part of this entire series. The great animation combined with the sound is enough to make this series enjoyable, even with a mediocre story. Sword Art Online's soundtrack is excellent. Not only does the background music fit the scenes, it sounds really, really good. Now, the effects that they use throughout this series also help to convince you that they are in a MMORPG. All the blips and beeps and all this stuff that show up, and that also goes to credit to the animation. But it also has one of my favorite openings ever, which unfortunately is switched out in the second half of the series. Now, overall, the openings and endings are all good. It's just that I wish that the first opening had stuck around for a little bit longer. The characters in S.A.O. are just as disappointing as the story. Kirito really isn't a very interesting character. Now, that's not to say he's not a likable character. It's just that he doesn't really show a lot of development. Now, Asuna's character was another thing that took a turn for the worst during the second half of the series. Now, Asuna had loads of potential to be a really cool female character. Now, but instead, they make her into the damsel in distress for the entire second half. And lots of people have pointed out that the sexist way that she is treated and stereotyped in this series. Now, on top of all of that, we weren't giving a lot of information about the supporting characters. Now, despite the mediocre story and characters, Sword Art Online is extremely enjoyable. While the story isn't great, the animation and sound that are used to tell the story are. Now, both the fight scenes are amazing, and the atmosphere, at least during the first arc, is thrilling and very entertaining to watch. Here's the breakdown out of 5. Story 3, animation 4.5, sound 4, characters 3, enjoyment 4, and the final verdict is a 4 out of 5. Sword Art Online is a good show that should have been great. The story and characters are what weigh the show down, because the animation and sound and just the entertainment value of the show is very high, and that's what saves the show in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Comment about what you guys thought of Sword Art Online, and what would you guys give this show out of 5 or out of 10 or whatever you want to do. If you're on modernwarnegro.com, you can check out the full written review down below this video, and if you're not, just click the link in the description of this video and it will take you right to the article. You can click on the annotation and it'll take you to my previous review of Toradora, or you can click the playlist on the side to give you a little glimpse of what my channel is about. Please like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you guys later.